Pagmurmurit fulace, voi putia sonsarace, neghetru de tice. Morson tosta cembado, urbe cembogo purnarace. Sobor sonsarar dusre ascenan goa osleamce. Sogoya eta, koshi zanweta, uice kore suku, bogo pauta. Locato, Mogtaka Melta, Yakoria Mogan, Tanabukaniuta, Wakoin Karache, Morit Pulanche, Yason Sarache, Ketru de Neche, Morso Tosa Chembago, Urbe Chembogo, Purnarache. Sobor sonsarar dusre ascenan goa osleamce. Mogtaka melta, Yakoria Mogan, Tanabugniuta. Wakoin Karache, Morit Pulanche, Pudia Sonsarache, Ketru de Neche, Morso Tosa Chembago, Urbe Chembogo, Purnarache. Sobor sonsarar dusre ascenan goa osleamce. From Goa with love, Goa with love, Goa with love. From Goa with love, Goa with love, Goa with love. From Goa with love, Goa with love.
They are not doing good. They are not developing. They are like what to do? What? क्या बोलता है उसको इंग्लिश में? Like I forget.
Corruption.
Corruption. They do very big corruption. So right now new like prime minister they are doing very good, and old prime minister उन लोग को पूरा सजाए दे रहा है अब.
They gave them punishment.
Yeah, punishment.
They put them in jail.
Yeah.
They're right now in jail.
Yeah.
They're in jail
Actually,
right now.
he is already out of jail.
Okay.
For like 7 or like 14-15 days.
He was in jail. He was the prime minister of Nepal.
Yeah. In previous time. Before Valensa.
And how this happened?
Because of Gen Z protest. Do you know that?
Tell me.
Yeah. In like there is like जब वो पहला का प्राइम मिनिस्टर था ना,
हाँ.
उसने क्या किया है कि ये सोशल मीडिया है ना हमारे नेपाल का, फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम, लाइक व्हाट इज दिस?
No, I am just putting this on record so I remember this information.
Okay, no. लाइक उस टाइम पे क्या था कि सोशल मीडिया है ना, उस सब बंद कर दिया. लाइक इस टाइम पे, इन दिस टाइम, सोशल मीडिया इज very important for every person.
Yeah.
So, like,
why they stopped it? But why they stopped?
I don't know. Like because of what? क्या बोलूँ? Like क्या बोलता है वो rich people का बच्चे को लोग को क्या बोलता है?
The children of rich people.
Rich people को बच्चे को क्या बोलता है? Like एक बोलता है ना, नाम मैं भूल गया. Like.
But those people, what happened?
Okay. वो बच्चे लोग को like some रील्स आ रहा था ज़्यादा कि वो लोग ऐसे कर रहा है, पर उस टाइम पे वो
and they did not want them to see this.
So बड़े लोग, प्राइम मिनिस्टर लोग है ना, सीनियर लोग, पॉलिटिशियन करके वो नेपाल पे ऑल बैन कर दिया, लाइक सोशल मीडिया.
So it was just the big rich children of the rich children they were getting reels, and the parents were not happy that their rich children were getting to see reels which they did
They
not
can
want them
easily-
to see.
So they can easily get opportunity in every what to say, in every field. So
But for their reel,
so in that time reels पे सही आ रहा था, तो वो बड़े लोग है ना, they can't see that video,
so they were showing
banned.
reels of them, that there are rich children in Nepal who can get a job in any field, and they were reels about them. And the rich people who were the parents did not want their children to see these reels. So the Prime Minister of Nepal banned social media, and when that happened, there was the protest.
Gen Z protest.
What is the name of the protest? Gen Z?
Gen Z, do you know Gen Z?
No.
Gen Z is like 15 years. 15 years
Gen Z,
to,
Gen
like
Z.
15
Okay,
years to 20 years old. The
Okay.
people from the children from 15 years to 20 years old
Okay.
they are called Gen Z.
Gen Z,
So
okay.
they do a protest like for why this social media is banned.
Okay.
So the protest is like normal, and they think like everything is normal. But at the first day, Prime Minister gave an order to like shoot,
Oh.
and they shoot a student who has wear college dress.
Oh.
They can't shoot to anyone
can't shoot.
easily.
No.
Then and school student, they had wear like school uniform.
Yeah.
They can't shoot
They cannot shoot.
students
No.
who have like uniform.
Uniform, yeah.
So here the police they directly
Shot.
shoot in head.
Oh.
Is that in head? Is that like they had targeted?
Oh.
So they can fire on like in
In the air, yeah.
but not in the like head.
Yeah.
So first day they kill like something like 3 or 4 or something. No. I think 17 or something. They have killed people.
17 people, huh?
17 or 2 or 4, 3, and like injured like
Injured many people also.
17 or 18.
So because of that, it
And second day, and like all Gen Z, they have like they came and like having big protest. They fight with like government
With the
at that
police and
time,
all that?
and the Gen Z win. And in second day, they win. So after that, like Prime Minister, he like what to say?
he resigned.
Resigned. He resigned at that day, and after that, like after 3 or 4 months, or after I think 6 months. After 6 months, election has begun again,
Election began, yeah.
and Balen Saha, he was just mayor of this Kathmandu area now, and he like started for PM.
But he has
Prime
new
Minister.
new political party.
Yeah.
New political party.
New political party like what to say? Ghanti.
Ghanti.
He has joined. Yes. The party's name is Ghanti.
Ghanti means bell.
Yes, Bill.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Bill. And he has win
Oh, nice.
opposite to Prime Minister, before Prime Minister. The Prime Minister name is like KP Woli.
Okay.
So after that, and after like 2 or 3 days or 1 week after that, he has managed like all like from many district Ghanti, his Balensa parties win.
Okay.
So they have given their like position to their person, like Balensa is head, Prime Minister, and they have given other peoples to like
Home Ministry and other birds. and all, no?
position, like, and Sudan Gurung, he is in Home Minister. So Home Minister, when he became Home Minister one day, and after second day he goes for his work, like he is going to arrest all the people who have like done mistake.
The corruption from before.
Yeah.
And what happened to the police who shot?
Yeah, like one police has killed at that second day, and other police what to do? Nothing.
They didn't do anything, but of course the full change
Because
happened.
like police, the order.
Order, no?
Yeah. They're like
They have to. They are forced
to
to.
do order.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what to do with police? There is no anything. But at that time, Gen Z like has very aggressive at that time. At that time, like big politician house were like burned.
They burned the house,
Yeah, with fire. Whole house. At that time, like this protest, Gen Z protest from Nepal. This has also make some one history in world.
Yeah, yeah.
In second day, they win their protest.
In 2 days, like 24 hours.
One like foreigners has also make a one video, blog video. He has also running here to there at that time.
Yeah, imagine you're here as a tourist and from one to the other day another government is while you are a tourist here. Yeah, crazy.
I mean, that's a nice thing, man.
Yeah.
But you like it now?
Yeah, right now is going good, but we hope there will be good in future.
But you have.
They are doing very good,
Yeah.
very good. We are like scrolling reels every day, like, and there is we see new like news.
Yeah.
They are changing rules and developing some new technologies
things.
and to make Nepali peoples too easy for
Nice.
their like future
And how anything new that you read?
like
Any example of anything new you read? You came something in the reels.
रेट
Something new.
रेट मतलब क्या है उसको
मतलब कि in the reels when you were listening to the reels of the new
हाँ
laws.
हाँ अब ये रेट करूँ
हाँ आपने कुछ आपको कुछ मिला वहाँ पे?
no I'll give like
No, what did you see new?
a new
आपने क्या
like
देखा?
one thing I have seen that हम लोग like पहले से ही like we go like nursery LKG 1 2 we go school like in every class there will be happen like exams but from this year that has been changed
Yeah.
like after 5 class up to 5 class there will be having final exams and exams like lower class 5 to like lower class there will be no exam.
So till class 5 there are no exams.
No exams.
Only after class 5.
Yeah. That is also one good thing they are thinking like
Nice.
they are thinking for futures.
For the future, so no pressure on the children.
I think it will in this time there will be some there will become some like problems but in future for like our brothers and our like children they will get good knowledge and
Better
good
future.
practicals. So that is also one good thing. So and there is also like there in Nepal before we for like if we want driving license we got like trial pass today
Okay.
and if we want like
Permanent.
like a card
Yeah.
driving license card we have to wait for like 1 year or 2 years.
Oh.
Now what in from this year there will be no wait
No, really.
like 1 week or like before 1 week.
Oh. Wow.
This is also one good things
Nice. Man.
and other things also they are doing.
So the police is acting better now. The police is
Yeah,
good
and
now.
also police they are like planning to change their police dress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are making like black dress. They are just planning right now. Like, this not implemented right now. So they are planning. I think they are like doing great.
Good one. Good one. Nice man. Good to hear. Like.
Do you know that India's like some political parties they are also like happy
Yes.
about what Valensa is doing.
The change, yes, yes.
Yeah, what is he is doing? We should have also
Correct.
doing. We should have also do this in India.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why should we are not implementing in our
Exactly,
country?
exactly.
They are like we are hearing this type of news from India also.
You are the inspiration right now for the world.
Yeah,
Because of this, what you all did here,
yeah.
this the world will see, and will say, man, why are we not doing this?
Actually, Valensa, actually he is not like a popular person in Nepal. In Nepal only he is popular, but in other countries like he's not.
Not
He's
so
newest leader in our country. He's newest, but he has like offer from India also. Modi ji, he like offer to came to India and visit our place, and in other countries also they have making of friends like China, US. He is making a good relation with other countries leader also. That means he is doing great.
Nice.
Yeah, I think like 5 years or 6 years Nepal will change.
Good one, good one.
Yeah.
Nice smile on that.
Actually, in Nepal, we are like right now we are like we have to think for our future. Right now, this is our age.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
If you don't think now, then
nothing will like
nothing will happen. No?
So, like in Nepal, there is not much opportunities to do a good. Yeah, like we have like degree or something, but no any opportunities. Like so, most of the Nepali young peoples they are like going to abroad for their like better future to earn money. So, if we get this that opportunity in Nepal, then why
To go abroad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Young people they have like good mind, their fresh mind they will do better.
Yeah.
So why Nepali people, young people go to other country and do better in other countries?
Correct.
Yeah,
Very well.
yeah.
Like if you have the chance here, why
If,
you'll go?
if they give us chance, then we will do good, and our country is also doing like develop.
Yeah, yeah. You get developed. also.
Yeah, get developed. So this is the thing. What is happening in Nepal?
Nepal.
Actually, like I'm also planning to go abroad
Yeah.
right now because Nepal is not doing like now Valensa is came. Now I think something will change. But I have also planned
Okay.
for abroad to go.
Nice.
That is the thing.
This is also Nepali group, no?
Yeah, this one is also Nepali.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, do you know that Nepal has like for like band, very famous.
I would love to know the names.
Nepal has many bands. Right now there is not in this time, this generation, there is like not like that much famous. But in our past time, my brother's time, there is like many bands. They are really famous. I really like past songs, Nepali band songs. I think you have also heard English band songs.
Yeah, I know. They're very much into English this side.
Yeah.
It's more westernized.
Nepal is like good in band and rap.
The sound of Nepal, the sound of the mountains calling, not yet the mountains. So these are the sounds from the Pokhara lake in Nepal. But as you can hear, there is a road all along the lake, apart from a nice promenade also all along the lake. And the new governance has already tried to make a point with maintaining a certain distance of building any material, any concrete material at the shore of this lake. And it's gone to another level where they've actually tried to raise certain structures from the ground that were too close to a line that was already agreed by the law from this country. And of course, in the background, you hear sounds of languages close to this part of the region, Nepal. Opposite the lake, you see this Shiva structure right up in the sky on the top of a peak, and you can very clearly see the silhouette all throughout the day. And it's another sign of how spaces are very, very nice with these sort of structures around. And at the same time, there is a reverence around these structures that is probably much nice for tourism and sightseeing. And of course, to also understand the side of life when you get out of your comfort zone, the side called spirituality. Connecting to the days of pilgrimage spoken about in a show earlier, where one gets out of his comfort zone and goes on a voyage, either forced when it's called an exile, or a pilgrimage when you go out on your own, also equated as a tourist escape or a tourist holiday. From everybody who's in this circuit of routines where you're enslaved to economic benefit with your insecurity so hard that there is just certain amount of time in a year to be able to go out and have a nice break for yourself, as they call it, where the categorization of relaxation time has been left for a small part of the year, and that's about it. Of course, when you look into the lifestyle, you can actually have the same relaxation every day wherever you are. I mean, if the prisoners inside the war areas can actually get relief through yoga and meditation, even in those spaces of high tension and high insecurity and a reality of the insecurity, then obviously at the casual space level it's much more easier that things go around like this. Sometimes even sounding like the helicopter, but these are these chug trucks that go up and down the valleys of the mountains in Nepal and the regions around, carrying a lot of food and transportation for a lot of more things apart from people. A very distinct thing about this tourism place that is Nepal is the fact that it's also having its ethic, which attracts people to this place. An ethic which is never spoken about in travel guides or brochures about this place, unless it's an in-depth article. If it's just about pictures and telling you what this place is all about, then these aspects do not come out. And this is the same for a tourist place like Goa. It's the same aspect we talk about. Simplicity of life and lifestyle. Something that attracts you from the contrasts. Something which was never coming your way in your usual casual routine, that now is impressing you. A lovely feeling to be amongst nature also is part of the parcel which is being given to you in the narrative of the current media circuits, and hence hopefully there is more room for spaces where nature will be preserved and these spaces will be looked at as more important and hence requiring that type of attention, the attention of preserving them especially. And that's about it. The other common element that actually comes out here is you know what? Music. And that's a monkey looking at us, climbing this branch which is on top of the lake, from the edge of the lake, and he's gone inside this tree and is taking away some flowers and fruits from it. I'm not sure which ones. But right at the side of this tree is this red flower tree which is super magnificent. I'm still not sure what name this one is. But if people are into botany and things like this, then this is a dream paradise to be in. No copyright to that sound. So the feature actually is about how things can be formed and where they come from and where they go towards. So making life simpler and thinking about the person next to you also pays a lot of price when it comes to your karma. And here opens the story next to this tree which has leaves like the people tree under whom Buddha sat and did his meditation. And we have these aspects of elements of nature that just make us go round and round and round. So one of the things that are going to be considered in this situation today as we listen to this is about how people have come together and made life easier for each other. So it all started with this point where governance was given a serious space, and as this governance was given serious space, it was understood that there would be certain things which would be administered nicely, like healthcare, like helping people get from one place to another for transportation, or other types of betterment for like ambulances to get across, better health facilities, and this basic of low death rate, high birth rate situation. So as we sit here and watched the eagle-like birds float over the lake of Pokhara and then swoop down and suddenly pick a fish from the surface of the water, we understand how this space, like another space where tourism is in the forefront, how it works. And the scene here is how the space actually gathers itself to work for itself and make its things easier. Like for example, the governance. Now there's a very important thing that we need to understand here as to what happened in Nepal. And this happens to be a matter of world record history. Like it's a world record of a demonstration that basically got over within about 48 hours and was so successful that it just overthrew the entire governance of the present day on that particular fateful day, somewhere around the end of September, October 2025, when a revolution was sparked off, and this demonstration actually changed the political face of Nepal. And many are saying this change is quite positive. Now, what was this change and what really happened here? Now, before we get into the story, we must understand our sources of information. You see, our sources of information lead us to tell us things which are always in a particular pattern. So since I was a news editor, I was given this role of fitting in all the stories from the journalists who would come in from the field. I would place their story on my computer and edit it out to the right space as was given to the story. It was understood that this story would be about 300 words or 200 words or 100 words, etc., etc. And then as a sub-editor, I would need to fit this into these boxes over a program. And this was something where you understand that words are being put into boxes and categorized. And then there's a priority being given to them. There is a standard being made, created. And these standards are the formats of newspapers and news agencies. And just like there are newspapers, there are also visual media channels, which also go by structures which have been categorized, and the news will be fitted into that particular time, said by words instead of reading it in print. So we understand that when these things happen, there is already a categorization of the news taking place, and as this categorization continues, there is already a standard that has developed, and this standard is what is the medium right now. You see, there was the news that was the medium, and now there is a standard that is the medium. And in this standard, there are things which have not been included, like an ethical way of standard. As you see, as we speak words like these, the sounds of thunder are almost like a manifestation of signs of protest. And hence, no amount of protests towards the media would be able to change their format. So if you think about protesting and changing things only by way of protest, then this is a one-sided story you are up into. Because right now in the world we are living in today, not only has social media taken over our spaces of society, but we have many more things which are still on pen and paper and can be written to and can be spoken about. So while we see these glimpses of lightning over the lake of Pokhara, we get back into the story of Nepal and how a huge amount of change happened within a span of 48 hours. And this change right now is what is running this country. This political change. So the first point here was to make us understand why we did not hear about this huge feat of democratic influence in our parts of the world, in our parts of where we were living in our cushy comfort zones, where we have our own social media and our own media and our important mainstream media, where it was not like it was not reported, it was just a one-off story. But the one-off story here was about a system that the entire human race is trying to create with regards to how things can be made easier for all of us. So here is how that story unfolded. It was a day in this time in history when the political class was so much involved with their power structures that there was no end to a fascist way of living for the rich here in this particular country that we are talking about right now. Of course, there are rich all over the world in every particular country, but the rich in this country are being exemplified in this news podcast in particular. Just to give out a disclaimer about rich people, because I'm very sure there are some very nice elements to every human being, and some of these human beings may actually be very, very rich. So here goes, as one of the news reels was playing out, how it is to be a person from the rich family and to be a rich kid, and you can do anything, you can get into any university, you can get into any space, form of education or lifestyle. You could become a model, a superstar, film star, whatever you wanted, just because of the fact that you were rich. And these were turning into memes and reels and were turning up on social media. At this point in time, the parents of these rich from this particular region, now you see, you have to consider this region is a small space. It's not a very huge space, but there are certain few 1,000, 100,000 millions here. And within them, we are talking about the rich, which is, of course, not the majority of the population. And these rich were used to how we all see it as being able to access all areas. And these reels were something that the parents of these rich children were not appreciative of, because it was a reel about their children. And as the parent philosophy can many times go overboard with many things, especially in terms of protection, let's not forget the main cause for wars. This is how it unfolded, where the parents actually, and the rich of this particular region called Nepal, enforced a ban on social media for the entire population. Let me repeat that. So the rich enforced a ban on the entire remaining population along with the political class, which were the rich. So the political rich class of Nepal basically banned social media all over the public in Nepal. And now we have Gen Z, and we have certain factors where, as understood by the subject called digital anthropology, which I was looking through, you see it shows how social media and life works together with your ideas of dopamine and how much you need to look forward towards that next like for your video and how many likes, and it makes you happy in a small, sweet way. And these things are influences on your physical self, which have entered into the stream of your life because of social media influencing. And when it is like this, you see, this is also making a sort of attachment between you and social media. And Gen Z, as this gentleman from Nepal pronounces in his very sweet accent, the Gen Z of Nepal, that is the current generation, are very attached, like we know, of all the children, to their social media networks. And when this happened in Nepal, that the whole of social media, WhatsApp, etc. was jammed for the purpose of the rich only, that's when the Gen Z got on the roads to protest. Now, of course, this was the younger lot who was protesting, and they were all between the ages of, say, like 17 and 18 or maybe younger, to about 35 and 40. Because when you're 35 and 40, you probably need social media for more aspects of your life, since you're already involved in the medium of work, than the Gen Z, of course, who were hooked on with their dopamine with the social media already. So while it was blocked and there was no more chance for this physical relief anymore, because social media was blocked and the internet was blocked, or certain parts of the internet to be precise, that rolled out into a protest. And this protest had a highlight very, very immediately. Because when any citizen protest takes place, the rich political class always hide behind the police. And again, the police were given this space where they were made to be between the public and the people who had actually shut down Nepal's social media structures overnight. So when this happened, the police were in a huge situation, as they always are, because they are part of the establishment. But they have to follow orders, like how our friend would say, who was part of the protest, as he saw one of many being shot directly in the head while wearing a student space uniform, because this person was part of the student community, the Gen Z, and they were protesting. And when this student was shot in the head by the police, this was a no-go, that the public would not allow this to happen anymore. This was the verboten sign for the collective mentality, for the collective consciousness of the people around, that they were not going to accept that any form of aggression can be so blatant in a democracy where you're allowed to protest. Now, as we understand, most spaces, even like places in India where these protests are having laws to clamp down on protesters and make lesser protests for the ruling governance, at some point we must understand, if there is a population of say 10 people in a village or in a country, there would not be more than 2 policemen, which basically means if all the public come out on the roads, the police don't stand a chance. And here's what happened with Nepal. Interestingly, the Nepal army said that they would not interfere with this particular situation. Now, this is also happening because of Nepal's history, which was ruled by a monarchy at the beginning, and then the monarchy was thrown over for governance and democracy. And this is now being thrown over again for corruption in the name of democracy. And the new people that actually had this protest came to a point where they went to the houses of these politicians. They violently burnt their places down. In some places, they burnt the Parliament of Nepal. And there were reports from the Nepal people who were part of this protest that as they entered these houses of the rich, there were rooms filled with currency. And what was going on here was years of currency which was being hoarded at the cost of the exchequer and at the cost of the public, in the disguise of being a government servant serving the public, which actually was not true. And this basically led to a whole difference in the situation coming about with the slow, gradual fascism that was willed imposingly upon the public, saying that now nobody else will use social media. And that type of fascism is basically not accepted by fundamental collective thought, not at any point. So however deep you are within your administrative structures of governance, this is a fact that as it comes to this type of imposition, there will be opposition, resistance, and a gradual breakout into a better space. And this is what happened in Nepal when, after this particular protest, about 48 hours later, the entire governance was brought down to its knees. Let's examine what I say by brought down to its knees. Well, the public walked into the houses of the ministers and burnt all the cash that they found and could physically find. And then they walked into the parliament and they had their anarchist overhaul of the old. So you see, the element of anarchy is also being used in this space, but you see the reason that it has been used for has not been diluted yet by disillusionment yet. So this reason for anarchy is not coming from any planned situation. It's coming from a reaction. And it's coming from a natural reaction. And this natural reaction in Nepal went on to bring down the governance wherein ministers finally had to resign. And there was a re-election in the governance. And there were new people, totally new people, who were elected. And right now, since about 1 month, as of the date of today, we have a new governance in this space called Nepal. And as you heard, the voices and the narratives in this place that come with regards to what is going on now and what do they feel about the present times is simply a very positive and optimistic one. And the optimism here is coming from the fact that if the same thing continued again and again, there was a lot of frustration creeping in. Of course, the frustration got to a point where it finally got relief with this huge protest. And then the protest went out of proportion when they started killing people, like public, and that inflamed the process even more. So this is a huge message to all the police all over the world to understand that finally you guys in the police force are outnumbered, and friendly relations with the public is the only way you will ever work, be it with governance or without governance. The aspect to straightening out these power lines only comes from experience of history and how these things have played out, like in this place called Nepal. So as we hear the thunder in the background and we are thinking about the past of Nepal that also includes an earthquake, we understand what all went around in this space, and then we get into the histories of where Nepal came from and what it was all about. And a very interesting thing that has been done in the recent times with the music from across countries. So the new trend has been by the gorillas, who have embraced this side of the world and have included a lot of influences from this side of the world within their songs. But this was already done a couple of 20 years ago and has been happening ever since with different other various music houses and music production groups. And one of them happened to be Enigma, where there was a very lovely video which went in back play. It was in rewind. And amongst these videos were clips of the monkey temple, which is the casual name for this temple. But yes, it is infested with a lot of monkeys who are very friendly and all around you. And they are not really having a problem with coexistence of any humankind. 99.9% of the times not. And of course, it's actually 100% because I actually was witness to one of these moments where the monkey may have not been happy with one of the people who were with us. But this just went on to the next moment and everything was fine. With just a small screech. And as we understand this coexistence between the animals and the monkeys at a monkey temple and the acceptance of it all, we realize that this monkey temple was about 2000 plus years old. And then when we look from the monkey temple down, because it's a high point, we can see the remaining part of the city, parts of Kathmandu that are the capital of Nepal, that is the capital of Nepal, and how the city got structured gradually around these eyes of truth, which are the eyes of this monkey temple. And while we understand that this is a space for spirituality, we also see the vibe in a place like this, which is very similar to vibe from a village side, which is very content with its simplicity and simpleness. If I could say that word simple again without letting it become sensational. So sensationalization of simplicity is something which is not really possible. It's a space where you go and you refresh rather than go up and down. And understanding this is a matter of living it out. So while we hear this, we seek to believe that such things of protests can actually overhaul governances and actually turn over things once and for all, turn the tables totally. And today we have a brand new governance from the ages of 25 to 50, and they have already made some very nice moves, categorically speaking, with regards to the bureaucracy in Nepal. Because as we get into governances feel like they are the editors of newspapers, where they have to categorize everything with news columns and how everything gets priority according to their standards, wherein their standards are as flimsy as their opinions and sometimes are not professional enough to have a standard maintained at all, but yet are in these positions. So as we understand these fragments of building society, we come to these spaces where we see that this is something possible in every part of the world. Because in every part of the world, the police force is not as much as the general public, but very honestly, it is part of the general public, wherein there are these spaces wherein the police themselves will be part of the general public very happily, as collective thought builds over consciousness and grabs the consciousness of their entire space. Going back to actually detailing one of these points, which actually happened a long time back in Goa, was the authorization of some more than 60 special economic zones in this small tiny state called Goa. And this was again done by the governance, just like the current governance of Goa is also trying to still ask permissions for completing this double tracking coal railway line through one of the 8 hotspot biodiversity spots of the world that technically doesn't even belong towards only this population, because it gives climatic rainfall to the other side of the world. So that side of the world has equally enough of say in the matter as this side where we live, and we own this jurisdiction and this place. But it's the Western Ghats which we're talking about, and this coal transportation line has now been stalled because there is a no-go clearance, not only from UNESCO but also the Supreme Court of India, who has made the suggestion of taking the coal railway line through a port at Visakhapatnam and then back and continuing their railway line without touching this biodiversity hotspot area called the Western Ghats. And as we understand that these are no-goes, although land use policies have not been put in place by the state establishment and the governance, where these would have already been proclaimed as no-goes. This is probably why these policies were not put into governance, because then they could encroach upon these nature reserves and hotspot biodiversity areas in the name of development. But like mentioned very specifically before in another radio show, the Supreme Court of India has made this amply clear that if and ever if there would be a question of development and the environment and what would be chosen, the Supreme Court has already made the decision that this will be the environment and not development. Environment will be given priority. And coming from there, this particular project of the coal transportation railway line has been rightfully said, no, you will not go through this area. And then when we go back to the UNESCO, a mail that was written to me personally by the UNESCO confirmed no such reports from the central governance of India to even declaring that they are going to be having a project of this sort. So as we understand it, institutionalized crime is something that we are all burdened with in the present times, and we are all quite concerned about. But the people who are working around this institutionalized crimes are only there because they are not able to do the intellectual background work that is required. And hence they use the elements of power to push play and push things around the place. But like we have already had in every system around the world, especially in very lovely countries which have chosen the path of democracy, there is the judiciary in case something already happens, but who will make the laws and the rules will be the executive body. And this is where the stalemate comes in, even for a situation like legalization of cannabis for places like India and Nepal. Maybe not so much Nepal, but for India, wherein the Supreme Court of India has already clearly mentioned that we are not the ones who will make the laws around these things. It will be your executive body of ministers. But now returning back to the pattern of things and how these patterns have come along, as you see, these patterns mean opposition and ruling. So if someone from the ruling proposes for a legalization of a particular substance, what is the natural formula reply from the opposition? A no. This likelihood is coming from patterned structures. You see, so we have to understand the difference, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, between the patterns and the structures that we are living by right now, and how these are governing our lives and not our lives itself. So while we go down this path of understanding where the judiciary lies and what the roles and objectives are, we can go to relief from a life of excesses of power play from the political class to the judiciary, and that is what can be put in place by the judiciary. This was another move which was tried by Netanyahu, and he tried not to have the judiciary have powers over the executive body, wherein the executive body would be free of the judiciary, and the judiciary would not be able to clamp down on any orriness by the executive body of ministers. Of course, this never happened, and to save himself and a couple of more things, there was conflict, which was a way out for a political class that is already seemingly turned quite fascist in a way. Now, this is quite interesting when we use the word fascism for a political class, because when we look at ourselves as public, having opinions about this particular type of fascist behaviors coming from, let's say, the higher economic class, what we end up doing is we end up becoming fascists and aggressive ourselves by saying they should all be shot. It's quite funny that we come up with such radical opinions for the radical, but radical cannot beat radical, because that's what we've been seeing right now, and it's not really happened in a long time. So as we understand these conditions of social outplay, that ministers and the chiefs of armies and nations cannot be using statements like we will end war and we will end war with war, and we will end drugs, or we will end crime. You see, humanity is here to be made and grown to a better space. Obviously, we came from jungle times, so we now prefer living in a space which is not like the jungle. And then we would like to go to the jungle for certain times for holiday relief, because that is now exotic. So as we go round and round with our minds, and we understand the revolution is only in the minds, we need to focus back on nothingness. Plainly because this nothingness is all about how we can actually live in the moment and just experience things how they are. But without getting more philosophical about it, let's get back to the political class of what happened with the current governance in places where the political consciousness has gone through the roof, and now there is a point to move things. This move that happened in Nepal moved a lot of people, moved a lot of spaces, moved a lot of things, moved a lot of structures, moved everything, just because the people moved. And the people were provoked, and that's how the move happened. So these people who were provoked were also provoked by a shot in the head by the police. So this provocation was also something which was not really planned as a provocation, but really happened as a matter of incidents, because that student was not really targeted to be shot in the head. And apart from the thoughts we give to the families of these victims, and since we speak about them at such huge levels of media, with lots of respect, of course, these are the people who also were present at that time, and because of which everybody else stood up for something which they would not be standing up for, and they took this to the next level. This is something which has to be held in high respect. The respect that we understand in standing up for something that is not done is something that has been reeling with many, many more countries. Like, for example, Germany was already in the guilt factor with regards to Israel and was not able to say many things, even if they wanted to. But finally they did open up and say that they would not be part of a world war, at least. And that was a very emotional moment where they finally stood ground for the ground and for peaceful coexistence in what we've been all here for all over the world. So as we get this humanity living better and better and in a better space, and things become easier, the lightning goes on, the rain continues, turbulences of nature don't stop, and the party don't stop.